Punk Revolution now! Today, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm having somewhat of an emotional day. I'm kind of raging a little bit, shaky, nervous because of bullshit going on online on Twitter. Anthony Fantano attacked me again, the whole deal. Maybe I'll make a video about it tomorrow because today I just can't get into it because we're gonna be reviewing Futile. Listening to this album and trying to process it has been an emotional roller coaster. There's just a lot of shit going on here. This is a collaboration between Gupi and Fraxiom. Gupi being Spencer Hawk, aka Tony Hawk's son, which is really fucking epic because I love skateboarding and I love Tony Hawk, so. And then Fraxiom, who I've never heard of before this album, honestly, but cool to see a cool collaboration here. And you know what? This is being released on Dog Show Records, the same record label that released 100 gecs. Kind of gives you an idea what you're in store for. Spencer Hawk doing a freaking 100 gecs related sort of album. What the heck is going on? I shall tell you in a second. Let's start by taking a look at the album cover. This is a very colorful, very playful, kind of childish album cover that, you know, just kind of falls in the same vein as a lot of other hyperpop musicians like A.G. Cook, and then the Guppy solo album that came out last year, which was pretty cool. It just, you know, computer generated, pretty simple stuff that's very PC music influenced, which is, you know, gonna definitely inform us what the music is gonna sound like. So this album, like I said, has been an emotional roller coaster to process, to wrap my head around. The first couple of times I listened to it, I was like, I really do not like this. I don't even think I want to review it because I just don't enjoy analyzing it. But then, you know, I came around, listened to it a couple more times, and it started something kind of clicked on my brain. Like, this album is so absurd, it does frankly kind of deserve credit for that. And it is kind of fun in its extreme absurdity. Like, my initial analysis of this album was it's like 100 gecs, but you take all the cringy, wild, stupid stuff about 100 gecs, which, you know, you can forgive because the music is really catchy. And then you just make that like 1,000 times cringier and weirder and crazier with lyrics about Twitter gives me mental illness. I want to kiss Skrillex. You smell like poo and smell like a shoe. Just poggers, cringy, crazy, internet, weirdo, ironic lyrics. It was like, I can't take it. I couldn't take it at first. But then I realized, like, it's so absurd it gets bad, but then it's so absurd it gets good again. In how absurd it's like, it deserves a round of applause for its craziness. And Guppy's production here is actually pretty creative. It's like taking dance music and then just pushing it to the extreme, so loud and so just maximum craziness, bass house, bro step, freaking Crazy Frog sample, and then someone's talking about poggers on top of it, and then it transitions to all this other crazy shit. You never know what you're gonna get. It kind of feels like you just eat a shit ton of really sweet candy, where it tastes kind of good, you kind of enjoy it, but you also kind of feel like shit, and you're kind of overwhelmed by it. It's a lot to process, and in that sense, it is kind of creative in a weird way. And in this craziness, there is actually some cohesion in this album. The tracks from 8 Now to Moss Dozer being, I think, like the best track on this album, just a really excellent, really crazy song. I mean, those songs all kind of feel like they blend together, transition to each other, it feels very cohesive, and it's a pretty nice run of songs. But my issue here is when, after Moss Dozer, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really like any of the songs that come after Moss Dozer. I don't really like any of the songs in the second half of this album. Maybe it's just my personal taste. I don't love this genre of music that much. Like, I can take like 20 minutes of this music, but once we get to the second half and the songs aren't as strong as the first, it's like, I'm fucking done, I've checked out, like, get me the fuck out of here. You know, this inconsistency in this album, combined with the just like how absurd it is to kind of a good amount, kind of a too much amount in a weird way. If it was a little bit more focused, I think I'd give it a higher rating. But for now, I'm giving this a 6.9 out of 10, which is a lot higher than I initially wanted to give it. But it came around because it's fun, and that's all I gotta say, folks. Punk Revolution now! Thank you so much for watching. Go check this album out if you like hyperpop 100 gecs. It's really a treat, especially the song Moss Dozer. Cannot wait to see what Guppy and Fraxiom are up to next, because they've earned my attention with this album. It's a cool release. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone like, commenting, subscribing. It's really helped my channel. My channel's growing very fast. Thank you so much. Punk Revolution now. I'm getting the fuck out of here.